Hi, everyone. My team and I are excited to present to you potential investors a brief overview of a financial analysis for our company, Beyond Meat. My name is Lauren, and my team of financial analysts, Emily and Juliana, will also be joining us today. Beyond Meat was founded by Ethan Brown in 2009 as a plant-based meat alternative company with the vision we believe there's a better way to feed our future. In 2012, it became the first, and to this day, the only company with a primary focus on plant-based meat products to go public. Since then, it has expanded throughout the entire United States and many countries internationally. You can find Beyond Meat products in many of the stores you probably frequently visit, such as Carl's Jr., KFC, Starbucks, and more. The Chief Executive Officer of Beyond Meat is the original founder, Ethan Brown. Ethan's vision was to create a positive impact on an array of issues that animal-based meat can contribute to, such as health concerns, environmental, and climate issues. Recently, Beyond Meat has turned its focus to selling its products to third-party sellers such as restaurants and grocery stores. So we determined, based on a number of financial factors, that Beyond Meat's top 3 competitors are Kellogg's, Whole Earth Brands, and Nestle. Kellogg's recently released their own line of meat alternative products called Incognito, though the CEO has recently claimed that their sales have been stagnant. The second company, Whole Earth Brands, is a global food company with many meat alternative products. It is the leader in the market for plant-based packaged products. And then the third competitor, Nestle, has a growing successful meat alternative shelf and is the company that steals the most market share from Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat operates in the food and beverage industry, specifically the plant-based meat alternative sector. There is a wide customer segment that brings in Beyond Meat consumers, but it primarily consists of vegans, vegetarians, people just looking to cut down on their meat consumption, people concerned about the environmental impact of meat production, and those looking to just make healthier food choices.
Several ratios in our analysis may be considered concerning, and the significance can depend on the context of the industry and the company's overall financial strategy. When looking at both companies' total debt ratios, Beyond Meat had a higher debt ratio at 1.19 compared to Whole Earth Brands sitting at 0.68. A higher total debt ratio suggests higher financial leverage and potentially more financial risk for Beyond Meat. When looking at both companies' debt equity ratio, Beyond Meat's debt equity ratio is negative in both years, indicating an unusual situation. Beyond Meat's ratio was sitting at negative 5.85, while Whole Earth Brands' ratio was at 1.62. Negative ratios may result from negative equity, suggesting potential financial distress or other issues. Both companies show a decrease in the time interest earned ratio, but Beyond Meat's ratio is notably negative, resting at negative 11,316.84, while Whole Earth Brands rested at negative 0.73. A negative ratio indicates that the company does not have enough earnings to cover interest expenses, which is a critical concern for solvency. While Beyond Meat's liquidity ratios, including the current ratio, quick ratio, and cash ratio, are higher than 1 and seem healthy, the substantial year-to-year decrease in equity and the negative equity multiplier are concerning. Beyond Meat had a cash ratio of 4.09, while Whole Earth Brands had a cash ratio of 0.33. Considering these negative values for certain ratios and the drastic changes in ratios for Beyond Meat, it suggests potential financial challenges. In addition, both of these companies are more risky in solvency due to a time interest earned ratio less than 2.5. Now for the financial analysis of Beyond Meat. We noticed that revenues had a decrease from 2021 to 2022, ending at negative 418,933. We also noticed that total assets had a decrease from 2021 to 2022 and ended at 1,062,224. The last thing we noticed was that Beyond Meat sold off 0 operations in the years we analyzed, which are 2021 through 2022. We found a few trends in Beyond Meat's income statement. Revenues from 2021 at 464,700 decreased to 418,933. We also found that the cost of goods sold increased in 2021 at 347,419 to 442,676, which indicated a lower profit margin. The last thing we found was that the net loss decreased by almost double from 2021 being at 182,105 and decreasing to negative 366,137.
As far as the last 52 weeks, Beyond Meat investors have had a negative 47% return on the stock that they invested. And as far as their competitors, they have also had a negative return, but not quite as high of a percentage, with Whole Earth Brands, Nestle, and Kellogg being all at negative percent returns, but all within the 10 to 20% range. Comparing that to the S&P 500 at almost 13% positive return, they are currently underperforming the market. As far as stock price, it's doing pretty similar to the last 52-week return, because just in the last 6 months, their stock price has gone from $17 to $5. And we've concluded that most of this is due to the fact that Beyond Meat sales are down 24% in just the last year, from the end of 2022 to the end of 2023 today. But part of it can also be attributed to the fact that the Beyond Meat CFO was charged with battery, and people might not want to invest in a company with questionable leaders. As far as Beyond Meat's risks in comparison to other companies, their production costs are going up, which is an issue for a lot of companies in today's age of inflation. But specifically with them, they want to keep their price of their product the same as any other meat product, because the whole point of their company was to give vegetarians and vegans an option that doesn't involve actual animal products, but then keep it at a similar price range. So their issue is that with production costs and transportation costs and gas costs going up, they can't keep up with that while also keeping the price of their product the same. Also, their product can be considered a trendy product, since vegetarian and vegan options have become kind of a trend, and that could disappear at any moment. But they also face a unique risk of the growing market, since normal meat products have existed for a long time. So their other companies and their competitors already exist. But since Beyond Meat is in a growing market, more and more companies are trying to become them and take over their monopoly on the specific vegetarian meat industry. Beyond Meat's beta is 1.32, which is extremely high, especially when you compare it to their competitors, Whole Earth Brands, Nestle, and Kellogg, who are at 0.58, 0.44, and 0.36. This just means that their stock is very risky, especially since their sales and their overall net income has decreased consistently over the past few years. As far as how Beyond Meat finances their operations, they use a pretty equal ratio of debt and common stock, especially since their sales and overall net income has consistently decreased over the past few years. They've had to lean more and more into using debt to finance their operations, because more and more investors choose not to invest in their company, so they have to lean more into the debt side. And Beyond Meat does not use preferred stock. In conclusion, we do not recommend that any firm add Beyond Meat to their portfolio, considering their overall return rate and their sales are going down, and they don't seem to be making any sort of effort to bring them back up. And we do not recommend that shares in the firm be purchased for a mutual fund. That is all we have to say. Thank you so much for your time.